The conversation might go like this. I think you should be more empathetic. Well, I really don't care what you think. Leaders spend an incredible amount of intellectual and emotional energy trying to understand what it means to be empathetic. You can take the Machiavellian approach, which says that you don't really have to care, you just have to act like you care. You don't really have to be sensitive, you just have to act sensitive. But we know that that's very disingenuous, and most people pick out a counterfeited leader pretty quickly. So what I'm going to suggest is that empathy is a skill that you can develop. Again, going back to a golden mean, it's somewhere on the spectrum of caring too much and caring too little. Think back to your memorable favorite teacher. You're probably already thinking about that person right now. You probably don't think of that person as being empathetic so much as someone who set very high standards, someone who held you accountable and enabled you to perform in a way that you didn't think that you could. Sometimes you thought they were being hard on you. Empathy takes a lot of different shapes and shades of leadership. So what can a leader do? My suggestions are, first, be genuine. Say what you mean. Show people that you care in a way of kind of speaking the truth in love, to quote the wisdom writers. Another is have very high standards. Expect people to do more. One guy that I've been reading about empathy says, we can't be as nice perhaps because we live in a very difficult, complex, competitive time, and people have to learn to be tough. Well, tough, I don't know exactly what that means, but I do know that people have to rise to certain expectations and standards which will enable them to succeed, and that's a very empathetic act. Another thing that really shows that you care about people is to celebrate with them. So often we just see people doing their jobs and, they get paid, they should be glad they have a job. But to be empathetic is to recognize when they achieve, they meet that standard, and then you can celebrate with them. One of the greatest coaches that's ever lived was Coach Vince Lombardi, who coached the Packers to Super Bowl wins and championships. He said his job as a coach was to get people to do what they didn't want to do so that they could be what they want to be. That's somebody who understands in a very mature way how to be an empathetic leader.